The Los Angeles Rams visit the Seattle Seahawks. We get some division matchups in the playoffs this week. I guess we're going to see that going forward a lot. 7 teams in the playoffs. Now we get 6 wild card games total, which is pretty cool. Let me get over to my points here. If I'm gonna, gosh, I have a start grade on Jared Goff. We don't even know if he's starting a game, right? That, by the way, David, a parlay. Like I always do well in week 17 because I always bet, quarterbacks, veteran quarterbacks. I had a parlay. I was sitting on Cardinals +5 because I got in early in the week. Cardinals +5. I was walking tall until freaking Kyler Murray and that ankle or whatever it is completely screwed my parlay. It cost me probably 500 $1,000. That injury cost me that. It was a heartbreaker for me. But so it goes, right? So it goes. Now the Los Angeles Rams. Back to this game. Jared Goff, I do have as a start grade, but this is computers talking. I don't like it. I would override that and stay away from Phillip Rivers. I would actually feel more comfortable starting Josh Allen, to your point, in your 2-pick format than certainly any Los Angeles Rams quarterback. Running backs, I'm staying away from, although I do like we'll see if Cam Akers can get himself healthy or get himself activated for the game. I don't even know what his latest status is. Wide receivers, we'll see. Kupp, now I saw, was he COVID? Was he out because of COVID or because of injury? I missed that as well. I know he was deactivated. I thought it was COVID, but I'm not sure. Robert Woods.
Yeah, I can't clarify, but I don't think it's anything serious. I think he's going to be back for this playoff matchup.
Woods, I'm okay with starting. Really, with the Rams, I feel like this is going to be a low-scoring game. This is more my gut than my computer. My computer say it's high-scoring game. I think it's going to be low-scoring game. Seattle, I'd feel fine starting Russell Wilson in any format any day. Chris Carson, I think, is going to have a nice game. And I like the 2 receivers there, specifically Metcalf and Lockett. And I just stay away from everything else in this game. The Rams are really tough because even if they say, yeah, we think Goff is going to be playing, even if he plays, we don't really know how effective he's going to be. And obviously, if he doesn't play, Seattle should be able to run away with this. Literally run away with this. Just pound Chris Carson all game, and that should do it as long as they can hang onto the football. But anyway, you go ahead and take it away, David. What do you think?
Well, what I want to look at is what happened when they played each other twice this year, because this is interesting. We have a couple of these matchups in the playoffs where divisional opponents that have already played multiple times this year. And we'll get to the Pittsburgh game after, too. They just played this past week, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. But when they played this year, they split. The Rams took the first matchup 23-16, and the Seahawks took the second matchup 20-9. So both of these games were low-scoring affairs this year, which you kind of expected that Rams offense to perform better against a Seahawks defense, especially the first matchup when they were struggling. I remember everybody, myself included, was plugging in Woods and Kupp into DFS lineups left and right. All I got, which one's it going to be, goes crazy this week, and neither one of them went crazy.
Yeah.
So I would temper expectations on the fantasy side of this because it is that divisional opponent, and we have seen them play twice this year, and it's been low scoring both games. So probably bet the under. I don't know what the under is right now, but I would assume you're probably going to bet the under on this one.
The lines, honestly, the lines aren't out. Some of the sports books have it. Some of the sports books don't, in terms because the Goff factor. They need to hear what's going on with Goff first. But yes, I tend to agree with you.
Yeah, so the first game, Goff didn't even throw a touchdown. He threw for 302 yards, but no touchdowns. It was Malcolm Brown and Darrell Henderson. Brown had 2 touchdowns, and Darrell Henderson had 1. In the second game, we saw it was the Darrell Henderson show again. Akers was out for that game. Goff didn't have a touchdown passing in that game either. Wow, I just noticed that. That's surprising. So in 2 matchups this year, Goff had 0 touchdowns. That's not good. Not good at all. So I would definitely limit expectations for the pass game. If Goff even plays, is he going to be 100% healthy? Everything I'm seeing here on the screen says avoid this. It says pick Seattle. I would definitely, I think, be picking Seattle here. I don't have a ton of optimism for them, though, on a fantasy perspective, because we know DK Metcalf is going to get matched up with Ramsey. He had 6 for 59, like in the second matchup, and that was considered a good game because he pretty much blanked him the first time. So I'm just expecting a real ugly game, a real defensive battle here. And it might be a little bit of a snooze fest, unfortunately.
Yeah. Let me hit you with the line. The Los Angeles Rams plus 4.5 versus Seattle Seahawks. Who would you take there?
I can't, in good conscience, bet on the Rams under any circumstances with the question marks around Goff. So I'm taking Seattle pretty, no matter what the spread is here, unless it's humongous. If it was like 8-point spread with the backup, I mean, if it was 13-point spread,
Right.
I might Seattle.
That's my thing too. I think bettors everywhere should bet on Seattle right now, and wait to see what happens if the Rams play the backup, because what'll end up happening is Seattle's at plus 4.5. I can see the sports books are assuming Goff will play, right, with that line. If Goff plays, honestly, I think this is when I wrote down the score, and I'm assuming Goff will play as well. I wrote down Seattle 13, Rams 9. Which would have me on the Rams side, which is a stay away. But here's my advice to people betting: bet on Seattle now, because if it comes out that Goff can't go, this line's going to end up at Seattle, minus 7.5, Seattle minus 8. Then just go and put some money on the Rams and hope it falls in the middle. Worst case, you lose the rake on both sides. You lose a buck. Whatever your bet is. But if it falls in the middle, you hit both bets. Boom. So yeah, go ahead and do that. My computers, by the way, since I'm making this, computers like Seattle to win by 7. So they like Seattle, and this, of course, my computers are assuming Goff will be healthy as well. Man, that Rams defense, they're good. They've been good all season. I think they're still getting better. So I think it's going to be closer to that 20-9 performance, and I believe Seattle scored a late touchdown in that game, if I'm not mistaken. So 13-9 is kind of right there. That's what it feels like. Feels like just
Yeah, it
a
was
tough
a
matchup.
fourth quarter Jacob Hollister touchdown with 2:51 left.
There you go.
Before that, there had only been one touchdown scored the entire game in the second matchup.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a division matchup. These two teams know each other. Interestingly, the Rams' offense is like middle of the pack. We talk about the Bills and how their defense, we all expect them to be top 5 defense, and they're like around 15 or 16. The Rams are the same deal offensively. Meanwhile, we didn't think the Rams' defense was going to be as good. They're better than they've been in the last couple of years, and they've had really good defenses. It's going to be an interesting one. I tend to think interesting one for the matchup. I don't think we're going to see a lot of points, but I do think we'll see some drama at the end if Goff can go. If not, I think Seattle wins this comfortably. Next game, we have the late game on Saturday.